impoverished, decrepit, and unprotected are all words to describe how millennials and Gen Z will be once they hit the retirement age. However, if we act fast, we have the chance to influence policy and ensure that our future is financially secure. Social Security has reaped many benefits to the older generations, including the baby boomers, but it will serve as a handicap for the younger generations if we do not collectively decide to devise a brilliant solution. According to an article written by History.com on January 31st, 2020, President Franklin D. Roosevelt created the Social Security Act in 1935 to financially help the elderly, disabled, and survivors within our nation. In the 1930s, America heavily relied on the government, which in turn resulted in the Great Depression. Now, during the Great Depression, the government didn't have enough money to financially help the U.S. citizens, so Roosevelt decided to implement a system where the current working class funds the retired generation through contributing a portion of their work income through payroll tax deductions. In the 1950s, many amendments were made to the Social Security Act, which allowed eligibility to many people, including domestic and farm workers, non-farm self-employed professionals, and even some federal employees. Many benefits were increased for millions of other people within the United States. After these amendments, Social Security became a financial safety net for many Americans. An article written by Investopedia on February 20th, 2020, stated that many baby boomers are beginning to hit their retirement age as we speak and are receiving Social Security benefits. There is currently a Social Security surplus, so each baby boomer should be able to reap benefits until they perish. But after that, the money in Social Security is going to be completely gone. Even though the Social Security Act was beneficial for the generations before us, there are many cons to it regarding the younger generations. The first main concern regarding the issues with Social Security in the future is life expectancy. According to the Motley Fool, the numerous advances made within the medical field has increased Americans' longevity. Now, this may sound great and amazing and all, and allow us to spend more time with friends and family, but it's actually a curse. A graph on macrotrends.net depicts that in 1950, the average American lived to about 62 to 67 years old. But now, current day Americans are living to 78 years. The Social Security system was designed to help senior citizens live comfortably until, nature takes its course. But now, the elderly are living longer lives, which is putting a strain on the government's budget for Social Security. In 2000, there used to be 4 workers per retired beneficiary, but now there's only a mere 2.8 workers per beneficiary. So the money within the Social Security budget is projected to be completely depleted by the year 2035, which is only in 15 years. And that's a stat according to an article written by Forbes on May 30th, 2018. Although the slow death of Social Security is primarily placed on the baby boomers, millennials and us Gen Zers also need to take the blame. According to an article written by CNN in 2018, the number of births in the United States has dropped to its lowest in about 3 decades. Many people within the younger generation are opting to push marriage to the side to make more money so they can properly sustain a family financially. The average person within America today is now marrying at the age of either 27 or 29, as opposed to earlier ages like 20 to 25, back with the baby boomers. Millennials and Generation Z know that there's not going to be enough money for them in the future to retire financially stable. So they'd rather spend their time collecting every penny they can to ensure security in their future. To make things even worse, DailyMail.com wrote an article on May 7, 2020, stating that the coronavirus is most likely going to result in a phenomenon called a baby bust. And a baby bust is the exact opposite of a baby boom. So instead of a huge influx of babies coming into our country, there's going to be a reduced amount of babies coming from people. COVID-19 has made the unemployment rate skyrocket, which in turn impoverishes people and makes them uncertain about a future with a family. Clearly, both the boomers and younger generations are to blame for the failure of Social Security. But there's just one group that we haven't assigned blame to yet, and that's Congress. Our government has been in a congressional deadlock since 1985. They've known that the revenue they constantly generate to fuel the Social Security program would not be sufficient enough to maintain the program within the future. However, due to the polarization of our most popular political parties within the US, no side wants to help the other when it comes to finding a core solution to this ongoing dilemma. Each side has a plan that they want to implement, but they're so divided that they don't want to find common ground, which is going to continue to have a detrimental effect on US citizens. Clearly, the Social Security Act has proven to be greatly beneficial for the citizens of America that came before us. But now, we younger generations are the ones being hung out to dry. If we millennials and Gen Zers do not start focusing our attention on policy regarding Social Security, there will never be a clear resolution to solve this ongoing problem. Take action now by writing policy briefs or hosting public events in order to influence policymakers so that our futures will no longer be in jeopardy. Thank you.